if this were your podcast, how would you start it?
I would introduce you first. I'd be like, "Hi, Carlos. Thank you so much for being on my podcast."
Okay.
And then I would say, "Tell me a little bit about yourself."
How about my day? I'll tell you about my day.
Okay, yeah. Tell me about your day.
No, I'll tell you about my family.
Okay, let's dive right into it.
Okay, I have 6 siblings, so there's 6 of us. I have 5 siblings, I guess. And I love them all very much. The age difference is pretty dramatic, I would say. The youngest is 14 years old, and the oldest is 30. I'm 28. And then like there's like a few other in between, right?
Oh, nice.
We all like love each other, but there's so many different personalities. So growing up, it was kind of hard to. It was hectic, chaotic, loud, dramatic. But I'm very grateful that now, even as adults, even though some of the younger ones aren't fully adults yet, but most of us are, I feel like I'm very grateful to still have them in my life and still have them communicate with me when we need to make sure we stay in each other's lives in the future.
Yeah, that's beautiful because, you hear a lot about families that they don't talk to each other or they're estranged and they don't have a relationship. But it's really nice when you have a close bond with your siblings and your family, and who knows you better than your siblings, right?
Yeah. They've been with me for so long, They've seen so much of me.
And where's your family from?
Mexico. I mean,
from Mexico.
We were born here, but my mom is from Mexico.
From Mexico, both parents?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Well, dad is from Syria.
From Syria.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because I was like, you look you look mixed. I was like trying to figure out. I'm like,
I will say, okay, so I hate having to deal with this, but like my biological dad is also Mexican, so I'm full Mexican.
You're full Mexican. Okay.
But I know a lot of people get me I look Middle Eastern or some sort of like Arab maybe because my dad's Arab. So when I say that, people always go like, I can see it.
My mom is, so I get like people have a hard time figuring out where I'm from too, because my mom is from El Salvador and then my dad, he is from Hawaii. So he's from Tonga, but they moved to Hawaii when he was really young in Oahu. And so I always get like, oh, you're Middle Eastern, you're Asian, South Asian, like you're Indian. I get Arab. I get just like a mixture of everything. Sometimes I get like, oh, you're Mexican. I just get like almost everything. But so, I'm always like,
I think it's a beautiful thing though.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it at all. It's just like, oh, well, that's beautiful.
How do you make a living?
Can I start from like the beginning?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I've been working since I was like 14, 13.
Oof.
And I started working at a really young age because my dad passed away when I was 7 years old, and he passed away from cancer. And so I was raised with a single mother, and my mom was in a position where she had to take care of 2 kids, and being in that, when you're in that predicament, you have to pick up multiple jobs. So my mom would work overnight. And so we weren't like, we always had what we needed, but I learned at a really young age, like, okay, I need to kind of pick up my weight and I need to help out and get a job and be able to kind of
Did you do that because you saw that you had to? You know
what I
mean?
I saw that because I like would almost feel bad about asking my mom for money because I saw how hard she worked, and she would work overnights. So when I was really young, my mom worked during the day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at school, and she was a lunch mother. And then from 7 p.m. to like 5 a.m., 4 a.m., she would work at Amazon packing boxes. So my mom only really got like 1 hour of sleep, and it was like that for 3 months. So that was when she was working really hard. But throughout that, my mom had like other side jobs that she would do.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, I'm sorry, like the helicopter. So she had
One
other,
second.
hold for sound. She had other jobs that she would do and everything, but that was the hardest. My mom is a very, very hard worker, and there was never. We always had food on the table. We always had clothes on our back. We always, my mom always showed up. She was always at the parent teacher meetings. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she's done it. So I've been working at a really young age, and I think it's also a lot of it is that I was raised with a really hardworking mother. And so when I first moved to LA, I graduated school for theater and performance. So my goal was like, I always wanted to be an actress, and I wanted that to be my job. And I wanted to be like in movies and TV shows. And then when I moved to LA, I learned very quickly that, oh my God, everything is so expensive, and I need to get a job, and I can't survive off of just being an actor. And I can't ask my mom for money like, hey mom, I'm short on rent, or I need a job.
Yeah.
And so since I was going back, sorry, I'm like going all over the place.
No, you're
I
doing
have
good.
been working at restaurants since I was really young. Like as a host, my parents met at a restaurant.
Right.
I started as a hostess, and then I moved up. I was serving, and then I was waitressing, and it was really good money. Like I've made some years as waitressing, I made more than I did at like my first big girl job here in LA. Like you can make a lot of money.
Right.
And so when I first moved to LA, I was kind of bouncing around and trying to figure out like, well, how do I balance like being an actor and then also just like making money? I tried the restaurant thing, and then I just felt like I was so drained at the end. I have a really hard time balancing my I guess like passions in my job, and I let my work consume me a lot of the times, because I do know that there are some actors that can like, they're working at a restaurant and they're able to balance both of those. But I would be so tired at the end, and I'd be like, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. And I'm that type of person that makes a lot of excuses for myself. And so I was working at a restaurant for a little bit, but, kind of putting acting on the back burner, just making excuses for that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of hit a point where I felt like I wasn't expressing myself creatively. Like I was getting that creative itch, and I wanted to create something. And the whole reason of me moving to LA is because I wanted to be in the creative field of some sort. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just like apply and see what I can do as like in the creative field. It doesn't have to be acting, but I just want to be around other creatives. And so I like opened up my LinkedIn, I brushed up my resume, I started looking and applying for jobs. And I was like, well, what am I good at? I don't know anything about production. I don't know anything about like, I went to college for theater, so I know acting, but I was like, wait, but I also know directing, and I also know that comes with managing people and like directing people. So there's just languages that you can use and other skills from other things that you can translate into your resume to fit whatever.
Yeah.
But at the time, TikTok was also really big when I moved to LA back in like 2021. And so I saw in Indeed that they were hiring for a TikTok content creator. And so basically the job was just, okay, come up with like certain ideas of TikTok trends, and then like record them, direct them, and then post them. And I was like, well, I could do that. I'm on TikTok all day.
Yeah.
Let me get paid for that. And so I applied, and I got really lucky, and I got the job, and I was like, yay, finally. But that was like my first real big corporate girl job. And that's kind of how I got into the YouTube producing industry. I started off as like the TikTok consultant girl, and I would find trends, and I would record them, and then I would post them. And so I was scrolling on TikTok all day for work. But that was when I started. And then eventually from that, I felt like that wasn't feeding me creatively enough yet. And so I would pitch ideas of like, hey, maybe we should try narrative content. And after a lot of convincing, they were eventually like, okay, let's try it. And so I would write these like funny, like 1-minute sketches, call the actors in, direct the actors, shoot it, edit it, post it, and the videos would go really viral. And so once people saw like, oh my God, these numbers are good, let's keep doing that, they moved me up to director, writer, editor, producer of like just short form content. And it was really fun. But you know when you're really good at something and then eventually it just starts to feel like work and it becomes too much and it takes out the fun of it?
Yeah.
The thing with content is that when you start to just almost like go after the views and there's no more room for exploration or growth or just like trying new things out of the box, it just became very much like, this is the formula, this is what works, let's stick to this.
Yeah.
And after a while it kind of just got like, oh, okay, well, I guess here's that. So I was there at that studio for 3 years. After I got laid off back in October. And since I got laid off...
This October?
Yeah, last October.
Oh.
So I got laid off from that job.
Okay.
I was, producing, directing, writing, editing, whatever. I was doing that for a really long time. And when I got laid off, I was now in the position where I was like, well, these are my skills. I have like 3 years under my belt. I've learned how to produce. I've learned how to write. I've learned how to manage actors. I've learned how to find actors. Yeah. I know how to find trends. I know how to make things go viral. I know how to find a brand's voice and amplify that so that it works for their platform.
Yeah.
So after I got laid off, I started just freelancing for small businesses and influencers and pitching myself as a content director and manager. And so now I think I wouldn't have been able to be in the position now where I'm able to freelance and kind of just work for myself if it wasn't for the experiences that I learned at the studio and then them giving me the opportunity, and also working at restaurants and learning hard work ethic and learning like, okay, some days you got to work really long hours and sometimes you're going to work with people that you don't necessarily like or clients are going to be messy. Yeah. I think just all of my years of just working have taught me how to be a good boss for myself. So that really long story is
I love that.
How I do.
So right now you're a boss for yourself then? You're still freelancing?
So right now I'm a freelancer, freelance content director.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you were talking earlier about like wanting this creative like itch to be scratched, right? Mm-hmm. And do you feel like nowadays you're able to?
I think so. Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I like being able to sit down with someone and then talk about what their goals are and talk about their brand and talk about how they see themselves 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 5 months from now. Where do they want to go with their platform? Okay. And helping them find their voice through social media and finding their community, because all social media is really just like finding your group and using your voice. And there is somebody out there that is really interested in what you want to say, and they're looking for your voice and they're looking for your message. Yeah. And so a lot of it is just posting consistently and starting. You don't necessarily have to have a niche. People focus way too much on having a niche. Just post. Yeah. Just post. It doesn't have to be, it could be disorganized. I always tell people it doesn't have to be organized in the beginning. It could be chaotic, but eventually you'll find your people and you'll see what sticks and what works. And from that, you grow from that. Okay. People started to resonate more when I started to talk about how to break apart a camera. So maybe I should do more tutorials. How can I expand on that? I like to think about it like an umbrella. How do we expand on like what's working, and then how can we branch from that idea and then go to another idea? Cute. And another idea and another idea. And then it's fun. It's really rewarding when it starts to kind of work and the community starts to come in. Yeah. Okay. And then with freelancing too, then that means you get to meet a lot of different communities. Yeah. And I get to, I'm my own boss. So if I get to say no to things as well. Whereas before it was like, you can't really say no. Right. And I love the flexibility of being like, well, I can walk away from this if you're not offering me what I know I deserve, like my rates, or trying to negotiate my rates with me. I know my worth. I know how long it takes to put all of this together. Then it's nice also being able to be like, thank you so much for your time, but I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's beautiful. And I'm glad that you know how that you can do that and that like you know how to do that.
It is a learning curve because then eventually when people start to negotiate with you, you start to kind of think, well, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm
Right.
overpricing myself. Like maybe I'm overselling myself. Maybe let me cut them a deal. But the thing is the moment that once you start, I think everybody is like, everybody should negotiate. It's sure
Right.
negotiate. But once it gets to a point where it's just disrespectful, then don't feel bad in saying no because then that's how the person sees you and values you. And there's a lot of
Right.
power with walking away and saying no. It's just it does take practice though because I earlier would when I first started I would take on jobs where I was like I'm being so underpaid, I'm being overworked, I don't like this, they're not respecting me, they're not respecting my time. But being able to eventually learning from those mistakes and knowing like okay, I'm gonna
Change your mentality, your mindset.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So then it becomes easier. It's a muscle that
Grow. Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
work.
What is your favorite way to be alone?
I like being home. I like being home. I like to be snuggled on my couch, watching a really good series, documentary, and having the fan or the AC blasting and just snuggling with my cat. That's my favorite
Oh.
way to be alone. I can be extroverted, but deep down I'm so introverted and I need time to recharge and to
Yeah.
regroup and just like kind of take care of my
To be in your
energy.
own space and recharge is a great way to say
Yeah.
that.
I love taking time. I love taking time for myself to just like I love being alone. I love being alone. I didn't always love being alone, but when you finally go out to eat by yourself and like have a meal by yourself, sit in silence by yourself, just like enjoy being your own presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so therapeutic. You don't need anybody else but yourself. You can
Yeah.
feed yourself everything that you need. You are the vessel that already has everything. And once you can give that to yourself, then, you don't really need anybody. Everybody else is just like, you can pour into them and then have your friends pour into you, but you don't need to depend on anybody to pour into your
Yes,
cup.
I think to emphasize that wording because I know some people go like, "Oh my God, you need people," and it's like, sure, of course, humans need humans and whatnot, but
Yeah.
the wording here is important because it's like you don't necessarily need to be out there or to be with a person. It's like, no, you have what you need here. You can figure out your way to be comfortable, your way to feel safe, your way to feel happy on your own and be content and be happy, truly, right? And know that you can also be with people. Those both
Yeah.
things exist and are real and are true, and enjoy being alone. Because I know a lot of people can fear being alone or can be like. I think honestly, instead of being alone, it's we have a stronger emotion towards feeling lonely.
Yeah.
And I think with that, honestly, even when you're with other people, you can feel. I was just talking about like going to a rave or something, and then feeling lonely while I'm the only one who's like jumping around.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at, you can feel that thing that we really don't like feeling as people. Um, but being alone, it's nourishing.
It's good for the soul to be
Yeah.
alone.
I want to talk about the details of how you like to be alone. You like to snuggle up with your cat and watch a
Yeah.
series. Is there any like specific series that you've watched recently, or any favorite maybe?
Oh, I just finished. So I binge watched the whole season of Squid Game, season 3.
Me too.
I could binge that show. I had to sit through it. And I think what makes that show so good is that it just raises my blood pressure. When it's
Right.
so good,
You
it's
get
so
so tense.
suspenseful.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You're like at the edge of it's almost like riding a roller coaster.
Okay, so you like suspense movies?
I
and
like the
shows.
suspense movies, but sometimes it could be a little bit too much. Cause I don't like it's like, okay, I need something chill and calming and just I could just turn my brain off and just watch and enjoy.
Do you like horror films?
I like horror films. I wouldn't say that I watch them all the time. I like true crime. I think I like true
Okay.
crime a little bit more, which is still horrifying.
That's scary, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I like true crime.
Okay.
I like documentaries a lot. I watch a lot of documentaries with Aldo. We've been watching a lot of documentaries and a lot of like old movies and just yeah.
Going back to like classics and stuff.
Yeah, we're just going back to the classics and everything.
Cute. Okay. So with like suspenseful type shows and movies, is it after that you want to have something calming, or is it just in general like?
I guess it just really depends on like the mood that I'm in.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes I want to put on. Sometimes my guilty pleasures, I like to watch Family Guy or like American Dad. Yeah. And it's like those shows that I know I can just like turn on or watch at any random episode, and I could just like turn my brain off and just be like, oh, haha, okay, on to the next. Or you know what I really like too is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
The live one? The live action?
The live one, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I like the first season of that, and every other season I did not like.
You didn't like all the other seasons?
I don't remember if I liked number 2, but it was either 2 or 3 that I was like, what?
Yeah,
I just wasn't a fan.
It was on, where did I watch it on? I think it was on Amazon Prime or Paramount Plus. I forget where it was, but Wait,
do you mean, because I'm talking about the, like, I guess the Netflix one.
Oh, no, not the Netflix. It was the original one.
School.
The old school one.
Yeah.
It was almost like the old version of iCarly when iCarly started, but the 2 aunts, Salem, Sabrina, Henry.
Okay, I remember seeing some of that, not like full episodes. I don't think, but I remember liking the aesthetic.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic a lot. I thought it was cute. It was just like a feel good, a feel good show.
Yeah, I think for me, I would say Adventure Time is one of those.
Adventure Time is so good. Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Come bring your friends.
Yeah, I watch it. I think like it's one of the. There's like certain shows that I watch. If it's on, like if someone has it on somewhere, and I walk into the space, I probably won't be able to talk to you. Like I will every time just like look at the TV and just start like I'll just watch. Yeah. As much as I try to like talk or do anything, I'll just like
I'm such a yapper though, so it depends on like the movie, because if I'm the movie or the show, because sometimes I just want to talk through the show, be like, oh my god, did you see this? Did you see what happened right here? Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that remind you of this person? You remember that one time we did that one thing? I'm probably so annoying with that. I know I am so annoying with that.
There are some movies that I could not watch with you.
No, because I'll be like, oh, and I'm also just I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Wait, I'm very, it'll be annoying. Yeah.
I love that though. I have a friend who is the same way. I love it when he does that though. He's just so dramatic, just so like
so like immersed.
The silliest thing.
Yeah. They're immersed in the movie.
But there are some movies where I like to be super into it, and if I get too distracted, I'll be like. So but I would know what movies that would be in, that I would need that for. But there's some movies that I feel are so silly, or like that try a little too hard, and because of that they become silly. That I love to do the same thing with, where I just like love talking through it and just making fun of it, or like enjoying the moment more so than the movie alone. Yeah. That's super fun. Or trash TV. I love trash TV with people.
You do? Oh my god! Wait, what trash TV do you like?
I don't watch it on my own. Usually it's with
other people.
But recently, me and my sister were watching The Ultimatum with the gay
woman. Yeah. Oh my god, you saw the new one?
I didn't finish. No, I didn't see the new one. I saw that the new season just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, new season came. It's on my list. I gotta watch that one too. Yeah. That's another one where I just like my guilty pleasure. I'll just watch it and just.
I like those with people because I get frustrated with a lot of that kind of stuff. But it's fun to do that with other folks, with like my sister or whoever, where it's like, oh my God, why are you doing this?
Did you watch Love Island?
I watched the last eiter'sode.
You're like, that's it. I didn't watch Love Island.
My friends were watching it at a party we had, and so I watched it with them.
You like literally cannot escape it. You can't escape Love Island. It was all over my For You page on TikTok. It was all over my Instagram. All of my friends were watching it. All of my friends were talking about it on their stories. It's just like one of those shows. It I could care less to watch it, but I mean, I did watch the TikTok clips, and so I was like, oh yeah, I know who Shelly is, I know who Huda is, I know who
Right.
Amaya is because I watched the TikTok clips. But then my friends will be like, no, you have to watch the whole show.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
I don't.
Nah, I don't think I want to.
Yeah.
Maybe I know who won. I know, okay, apparently I know who has drama with who and who had like who said what, and I get that. I don't think I need to watch it. I'll watch the highlight clips afterwards.
Yeah, I think that's more fun with that kind of show where it's like you know how to talk about it with people versus like enjoying the show.
Yeah,
I agree. When I saw it, I was like, I didn't even really see the full thing, but it's not my kind of show. I mean, trash TV in general, I'm not really like on my own. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, I start to feel like a little bit. I know I have to check myself when I start to watch a little bit too much because I'm like, oh right,
to fall into it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I need a.
It's like one of those things you just want to know what happens at the end.
Yeah, and you can't that's why it's so good. But also with like trash TV, reality TV, it's so highly edited too. You don't really know what's going on. Apparently, you know, producers are trying to get a reaction out of you.
Yes.
There's so many.
It's so produced.
Yeah, it's so produced, reality TV.
But that's what makes it like fun, you know. That's what people are like drawn to, where it's like, oh my god, the drama, even though it was produced, it's like.
Right, and then people will come out afterwards and be like, well, it was edited to
make me
look this way or to make me look this way. I'm like, this didn't happen. And honestly, I believe it because I've seen it happen. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you can really twist somebody's words with like editing and just like.
Easily.
That's why, I don't know if you knew this, but like on Love is Blind, they use the gold cups because you can't see the drink level. So the editors are able to cut around. And so it doesn't really. It's not really an issue for continuity because imagine if they were trying to keep continuity with the clear glasses and it would be like up and then it'd be down and then it'd be up again, down.
They do the same thing in The Ultimatum and any place where they need them to get drunk, basically. It's the same thing. They use the solid cups, which I was like, okay. But then I was like, oh, that makes sense for,
Oh my God. And you can always tell when someone is really drunk on camera too. Like, I was like, oh, they drank at their limit. Well, one thing I did like about Love Island that I heard was that in the island, they're only supposed to have 2 drinks minimum a day, which is good. I think it's minimum. Only 2 drinks minimum a day.
So they have to have 2 drinks.
They don't have to, but they can't drink more than 2 drinks.
Oh, maximum then.
Yeah. It's a 2-drink maximum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So they can't drink more than that, which I think is responsible because it's there's some shows where the producer will be like, keep drinking shots, yay, more shots, just to get people. Yeah. You know, people do
just to get them sloppy.
Yeah.
You know? And we all have those phases. Don't pretend.
Right.
You don't
We're all.
That.
We don't have a little. Ooh.
Okay, some of you don't, and that's fine. A lot of us have been there.
Yeah. We have all. Trust me,
which is fine and all, but I agree with it. I think that's fucked up of the production to do that. You know, like. I think it's responsible to only have like a cap. Yeah,
because you know you just don't want people to regret or having anxiety after and being like, oh my God, why did I say that? Yeah, I would normally never ever do that, or you know, because sometimes alcohol.
Imagine all of our like worst times being captured on TV for all these people to see and judge.
Oh my God, no. No.
Please don't.
Right, please don't do it. Imagine we had like a secret camera following us all the time.
Oh, that'd be scary. That'd be scary.
Yeah, I don't think I would be able to do that.
No, definitely not. That's
I don't know how the Kardashians do it.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's like you're having someone like, okay, the camera crew is coming in today. I almost wonder if it's like, because it seems so natural, right? You watch in and you just kind of feel like you're a fly on the wall. But I can't imagine having like a camera crew following me around all day. I feel like I would be so rehearsed. I feel like I'd be so cautious all the time and just be like.
Well, I think you'd get used to it. Because if you do it so long. You know, but you're probably right. You build a persona probably that is like that automatically turns on when you see them.
When you see the cameras on. It just makes me wonder, are you the same person when the cameras are off?
Probably not, but we're all different people in all sorts of different settings.
Yeah.
So it's more so like, is that version that you're presenting a version of yourself that you that is still natural, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it like, are you telling a story? Are you acting? That's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
That's a tricky question you would have to
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
ask yourself, where it's like, am I hoping that someone sees me just like this?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it like, I want people to know that this is a version of me, and
Yeah.
also then show different versions of yourself to be like, hey, I'm human, because we're all
Right.
different types of versions of ourselves all the time.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just so it's something to think about, because I feel like for me, definitely, I would feel very much like I'm putting on like, oh my God,
A persona.
or I'm overthinking like everything, or what I'm saying, what I'm doing, how I'm being perceived. It's just it's a muscle that's built, because there are some people that are just naturals on camera, and they're able to just like be themselves, and the camera's just a prop.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting too is like people who go on lives and they can talk to people, or Discord, and they have like a bunch of followers that are just watching them go grocery shopping, or
Yeah.
just stream, or just, it's like you're talking to a whole audience, but all you see is your
That,
camera, and it
yeah.
feels like you're talking to yourself, but there's people out on the other side of the camera that are watching you and commenting, and you're responding, and it's such a
Yeah.
weird, like, weird's not the right word. It's just very, it's trippy. It's trippy.
How do you build your relationships?
Just like in general, like what it just, whatever that means.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't know which way to head, we can start with romantic relationships.
Oh.
You like someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the bubbly feelings. You got this and that feeling, you know, like you feel an interest. What do you do to then see if they are interested in the same way?
Well, I think by nature, I'm a very flirty person by nature. I feel like when I like someone, I'm not shy about it. I usually, I'll flirt a lot with my eyes, or I'll look like really deep in their eyes. I'll look at
Okay.
both of their eyes. I'll be really interested. I'll blink a lot. I'll
Very
definitely
physical.
flirt.
Okay.
I definitely let it be known that I'll be like, oh my God, like a playful, like,
Body language.
Yeah. So I'm very, I
Okay.
guess, I'm very direct. When I like someone, I'm like, okay, I like you.
Okay, I got a better question.
Yeah.
Are you monogamous or non-monogamous?
Oh, I'm definitely monogamous.
Okay.
I'm monogamous, 100%.
Okay, and then so say for that kind of relationship, right? At what point would you bring that up, I guess?
If
starting a new relationship, like with someone romantically,
Mm-hmm.
at what point would you then bring up that you're monogamous and that you would like to be monogamous, and how would that go about?
I think, well, in the beginning, when, we're dating and getting to know each other, and there's those helicopters.
Yeah, I don't know if we're just gonna have to maybe go through
Yeah,
it.
just kind of go through it. I feel like in the beginning, when we're talking and getting to know each other, and it's that excitement, there's never that expectation of like, oh my God, we have to be exclusive right away.
Right.
I know it's like, okay, they probably are talking to a few people. I'm talking to a few people. Like, I don't assume that we're
Right.
gonna jump right away to be exclusive.
Right.
But when it gets to a point where, we start talking every day, and then we're hanging out a lot more, and then, just spending a lot more time with each other, and the relationship starts to go towards a place where it feels like, okay, it's starting to feel like you're my boyfriend, and we're doing boyfriend girlfriend things, and I really like you, and I want to keep spending time with you, and I want to explore this with you. Then at that point, I'll ask, so what are we? That question, like,
What
so
are we?
what are we? What are we doing?
Okay.
And I think it's really important for me that boundaries and like communication is discussed right away. I feel like when you first start talking to someone, you get a really good understanding of like, they'll tell you right away. People will be like, oh, I just got out of a relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious. Or they're like, oh, I got out of a relationship years ago. I've been single for a couple years. I'm kind of just dating. I'm just kind of figuring it out. You kind of get a sense of where that person is. And so when I start to feel like, okay, I feel like you're committing to me and spending a lot of time with me, and I'm becoming very emotionally invested in this person, and there was no prior conversation of, I just want to be friends and kind of see where this goes, or, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship. I have no problem being like, so what are we? What are we doing? I'm not interested. I just want to be friends. Like, I think having a very clear understanding so that the other person doesn't get hurt is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. So I'm non-monogamous. Naturally, I should say. I should add.
That's so Libra-esque of you.
Thank you. I love that.
I love it. Yeah.
I just I've never been interested in monogamy, and not to go too into how I behave and how I build my relationships in that way, but I think one of the main things for me is that monogamous folk often assume more than communicate. And so they tend to assume, I should say, because it depends on everyone. Some people are really good at communicating, and I think that is necessary for any kind of relationship, whether you're non-monogamous or monogamous. But oftentimes, and I say oftentimes monogamous people don't, only because I live in a world where just most people are monogamous. So that's why I say that. But most people, I feel like, have a tough time communicating what monogamy means to them.
Yeah.
I think they just go on assuming. So like sometimes, for example, when you ask that question, like, what are we? If they say like, well, would you like to be my girlfriend? And say they said that before you even asked, right? And then you felt that, like, yes, I want that. Then I think oftentimes people just assume that comes with a set of rules. They come in saying like, okay, you can't have sex with people, you can't flirt with people, you can't be romantic with other folks. And some people think also you can't be intimate with other folks. You can only have me, and then there's your platonic friends, right? Usually that's the set of rules that come in with that.
Yeah.
But then I think even if that were the set rules that came with monogamy, which they're not, like, it depends on everyone.
Yeah.
They don't get into the details as to like, what does romance mean for you? What does intimacy mean for you? You know, and then get into like what is or isn't allowed in this relationship, and what like the boundaries you were mentioning. What are your boundaries, and also what are the rules? Because I think boundaries are more so things that if something happens, I will react this way.
Yeah.
And I'm letting you know that, you know, like if this happened, this is what I will do.
Yeah.
Rules are more so you can't do because of X, Y,
Yeah.
Z, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you both agree to a thing, then that makes sense. You're both agreeing to a rule, right? A rule of our relationship is you can't have sex. Now let's define that so that there's no confusion later on. Oh, she just gave me, you know, whatever. It's like, we'll go into the detail. There's no like physical touching in genital areas and whatever. Like, you can get into detail, and that means we can't do that with other people. Great. So now if you do that with another person, you're cheating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
Because often people, again, with monogamy, they'll go in and say, we're monogamous, but then later on they'll cheat, right? As in, like, one person will be like hurt by the action that they did because maybe they flirted with someone.
Yeah.
And to someone, to me, for example, oh my God, that's not monogamy. And to them it's like, no, it is, because I didn't have sex with them.
Yeah. So that's where like the communication really comes into play, because, you know, when I say like, oh, I'm monogamous, the way I think about it is like, there's that clear communication that you and I are exclusive, but exclusive could mean multiple different things.
Yes.
You know, it's like, for me, exclusive is like, you're not sleeping with anybody else and I'm not sleeping with anybody else. But where I really don't mind is, you know, if my partner were to like flirt with someone at the bar, or they're like talking to someone, or maybe someone was flirting with them and they just flirted back. But at the end of the day, they come home and they're coming home to me. That for me is not something where I'm like, well, you were cheating because you were talking to this person.
Right.
Everybody, I think it's like very Libra energy of me, is that we're just so flirty by nature. And sometimes just being friendly can come off as like, oh my God, we're flirting. So I have never felt like, oh my God, you were talking to this person for so long, or you looked at them for so long. Like, that for me is like, whatever, like we have human interactions every day. We are allowed to say like, oh, this person is beautiful. This is a beautiful person. Oh my God, that person is so hot. Like
Right.
that is not an issue at all. But I think for me, it's where I'm like, okay, I'm monogamy 100%. I want to feel like, you know, my partner and I are just, we're just having sex with each other and we're not, you know, that also includes we're not kissing anybody else. We're just like, you know, exclusive to each other.
Does that mean mainly physical things then?
Yeah, it's just mainly physical things. But like, I can care less about, oh my God, you flirted with, oh my God, someone bought you a drink. Okay, good. I love that. I love that for you. Or someone said that you were cute or someone said you were hot. Like, I think that's, in a way, it's also such a confidence boost too. It's like, oh my God, someone flirted with you. You feel good about yourself afterwards. It's good to, I don't know if it's also like the Libra in me, but it's like a muscle. It's just, it's fun. It's natural. It's like, woo, life is beautiful.
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, but for me, it's definitely more of like the physical things where I'm like, oh yeah, I think.
Do you know where that comes from? Like, why you want to have like monogamy there when like rooted in your physical?
I think it's mostly because for me, it's just a sense of, it's like I want to know that we're just like committed and loyal to each other in that way. I don't know where necessarily, like upbringing, I saw, you know, my mom was very loyal to my dad and my dad was very loyal to my mom. And then also at the same time, you know, when my dad passed away when I was 7, my mom hasn't remarried or dated anybody else. She's been very committed and loyal to my dad. And my brother and I will tell my mom all the time, like, oh, you should date other people. But, you know, everybody makes their own choices and can have their own choice. But for me, it's like, I don't know where necessarily, like, what's the...
Yeah, if you see, like, there's beauty in, like, the desire for a soulmate, per se. And then when you feel you found that person that really just fills you with that energy, there's a beautiful thing that comes to, like, feeling like you're committed, right? Like you said, committed to that. To making yourself feel like you're not just you now, you're us, and not needing to then explore beyond that. Yeah. And specifically physically in this sense, but I get it. I understand that.
And I also, you know, I feel I had one of my roommates in college is she's polyamorous. So I in college a lot would see, you know, her partner and then her other partner, and it is a lot of communication, especially when it's like a throuple kind of environment where it's like, you know, you never want to have the other person feel like they are not being included or talked about. But also, you know, it goes as far as where I have had friends that have had open relationships and they can have sex with other people, but where I notice the cracks in the wall is when the communication is not clear. A lot of people can kind of just be like, well, you didn't necessarily say this, so I assumed this, so I assumed that. So I think when it comes to that, it's so important to respect the other person and really understand. And then if your gut is telling you, well, I don't really think they would like if I did that, let me check in with them to make sure it's safe first. Yeah. That's why I think communication is just the forefront of just
any relationship.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Because often also a lot of people think that with polyamory or non-monogamy that there's not cheating involved or something, but it's like, no, that's not the case. When you're building any relationship, you're agreeing to certain ways of being together. Yeah. And if you break something that you promised, basically, you know, you're cheating. So whatever that might be, you know, if, for example, for me, if I said, I just want to know if I need to be safe, right? Like if you were sleeping with people unprotected, I don't want you to sleep with me unprotected without telling me. That way I have a choice to then either use protection or have you get tested before we have sex or I want a choice to be able to be safe. Exactly. Even if you don't want to be safe. Exactly. And that would be a rule or something that we discuss. And if you didn't tell me that, you cheated. You know what I mean? That's cheating. You didn't tell me, I didn't get the choice. Yeah. Even though you said you were going to give it to me. That's the problem.
It's anything where when you don't have that conversation with someone and you go behind their back and it's like they are unaware of what the circumstances are. Yeah. That is just like, I would want someone to tell me and to have a clear understanding. It's like, this is what we are, this is what we're doing, so
Yeah.
this is what it is.
That way, as if you know you're doing something that you said you weren't gonna do, like
You can't turn around and then be like, well, you didn't say.
Right.
It's just so, you know what's so crazy is that we can go as specific as possible with it. Like we can go, and that's how it should be when it's someone that you care about. But, you know, at the same time, sometimes you're in a position where you're like, well, you kind of have to be like, is that person going to like that? But would I want to do this, but I don't know if my partner would like that.
Right.
So in that case, it's like, out of respect for your partner, it's like, let me check in with them first, see if they're okay with it. If they are, then, you know, I'll jump back. But always letting everybody be in like the loop of.
Yeah. I think it's also like constant communication, because sometimes people think like, oh, we talked about it already, but it's like things are always changing. People are always adapting. Like the same goes with relationships, you know, like it's always nice to come back and check in. And the thing with consistent relationships, like whether it's monogamous or non-monogamous, with consistency, you also need consistent communication, because things change.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure about something that you once were, bring it up.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Just because, you know, in like relationships too, that helicopter. Just right. We'll just power through it. With relationship, especially like with monogamous relationships too, there could be a time where, you know, people are married for, you know, 20 years and they want to spice things up and they want to bring another person. But does that mean that they're not monogamous anymore? I don't think so. I don't think it means that they're open. It's just they had a communication.
It's definitely non-monogamy.
Non-monogamy.
Yeah, because monogamy, and I will for sure advocate for this.
Yeah.
Monogamy is you and another person.
Just
when you deviate from that,
you're open.
You're non-monogamous. There's a lot of terms. It could be open, polyamorous. There's so many other terms, but it all will fall under you're not monogamous anymore.
So I have a question. So it's basically like, so if a couple that is monogamous decides to be open and they allow another person in, but then they're like, actually, we didn't like that. Let's go back to being monogamous. Are they considered non-monogamous?
They could be monogamous.
They're monogamous again.
Yeah,
I was like, is it like
changing.
you popped your cherry kind of thing, and then all of a sudden you're not a virgin anymore, and then it's like
you're non-monogamous. Don't lie.
Right, you're non-monogamous. You are a liar. No. You're a liar.
It's honestly because obviously everything's made up, right?
Yeah.
Everything's made up. So at the end of the day, someone can be out there being like, no, it means they're non-monogamous now, and it's like, all right, sure, if that's what you believe, whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whatever. Like it's truly all made up. But from what I've seen and from what I believe, as far as like certain definitions I've looked into and stuff like that, if you really just think about it too, things are always changing. So like if I were experimenting with being gay, right? And I had like a hookup with a guy, I don't know, like if I experimented with being gay for however long, a year, 2 years, a day. And then later I was like, it's just not who I am.
It's not for me.
And then I changed and I was like, you know what? I really only like women, or I really only identify with being a straight heterosexual guy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Then that
you're
works
straight
for
now.
you.
Yeah. You can say you experimented, you did this and that, and you're straight.
Exactly. That's the thing. I think it's very important for everybody to just explore their sexuality and explore their likes and their dislikes. And so many people don't allow themselves to explore, whether it is because religious trauma or it's like, you know, afraid of what their family might say, fear of judgment. Just once you if you're interested in something and you're in a safe space and it's clear communication, explore it and then see what you like. And life is a lot more fruitful.
Always coming back to that safe space.
Right. Because it's so important to be safe, especially when it comes to anything, you know, sexual. Communication is key. It's so important. It's like honestly very ignorant to not have a conversation, or to not check in with someone, or to not always be like, okay, well, what are your boundaries? What are your hard no's? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What are your safety words? What are your absolutely hard no-goes? That communication is so hard because for a lot of people, because people live in that like assumpment world.
Yeah, where you just assume things. Yeah.
And when it comes to relationships or sex or any of that, you can't assume.
Yeah, I think it's because also, I don't know what bubble people live in, obviously we all have our own worlds, but people forget that everyone's living in a different reality, even if you have similarities with people. Like,
Yeah.
I can come in and talk to you about my back, like my whole history, and you can talk about your history, and we can have a shit ton of similarities. Even me and my siblings,
Yeah.
we've lived together our whole lives, but we live in different realities. Like,
Yeah.
we've experienced life differently, and because of that, we have different tastes, we have different ideas, we have different everything, even if we have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to remember that when you come across a new person, because that's what will allow you to then be like, who is this new person?
Yeah.
How do, like, they want to communicate? And then you can both figure out whether or not you can continue or want to continue that communication. But the point is to remember that, to not then assume you know who this is, and then assume you know how to be with this person.
Right.
Because they might not like the way you're being with them, you know? And that takes communication.
It takes communication. It takes time. It takes getting to know that person. It takes
Yeah.
having the uncomfortable conversations. But at the end, they're so worth it because, one, they bring you both closer. And two, you respect that person and their wants and their dislikes, and vice versa. Respect. It's all just based on respect. As long as there's respect, everything is good.
Yeah. Something a lot of people need to learn.
I know.
We
And it
love
should not be
respect.
right. And it's not that hard to it should not be that hard. It shouldn't
know,
be
right?
something that we have to
As a society, it's like something that we really need to just learn.
like in
but-
2025 we're still having to talk about, like, you have to treat others the way you want to be treated, respected. It's like, can we
Yeah.
just, I like to think that just treating others the way you want to be treated is, like, it's just common sense. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little tricky with the wording there.
oh no,
but-
for sure, yeah. The wording
but-
there is, but you know what I mean when
But I
it
do
comes
know what
to
you mean,
when it
yes.
comes to just like
respect in general.
respect
Yeah.
in general. It's just
It's like I get it. It's like, I think what it boils down to, at least for me, and I think for a lot of folks, is, I mean, I'm gonna say the good-hearted folks, is just like to avoid violence.
yeah.
And just give people grace and space, and like to just let them exist and be, you know, as long as that's like respected, then it's like, and allowing everyone to have full consent and understanding what that means in every aspect, you know what I mean? Then I think it's like, that's what respect is, like learning to just let that be, like however you want to be who you want to be, exist, and I will respect that. Just don't be violent.
Just don't be
And
violent.
Don't give hate. Like
don't
that,
be
you
rude.
know?
Don't spread hate. Just
Yeah.
stay. You are there. I am here. Just like, we don't have to necessarily like, because everybody is going to disagree. Everybody is going to have
Yeah.
something to say. Everybody is going to want to fight on something. No one is ever going to agree on one thing.
Right.
But all that could just be asked is like, just mind your business. I will mind mine. Don't spread. Just leave me alone. Leave me out of
Yeah.
it. Just,
Yeah.
So it's hard, especially with.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I was just thinking of right now, where I don't know, almost any like superhero movie, or I will stick with that superhero movie. There's usually some sort of one thing, like one enemy, one villain that the entire human race has to like hate together, for the entire human race to come together and like fight it together to then like have harmony, right? And even like there's a lot of movies too that like the villain says that they're like, I have to be this in order to save humanity, and they're trying to be like, I'm really the hero or whatever. But it's like, how sad and tragic is it that it takes that kind of thing, like this one idea, to bring everybody to, like, everyone has to agree on this one idea to bring everyone together or whatever. But in our reality, obviously that's impossible, because we all live in different realities. So as many people as you can find to agree with you on a thing, equally there's going to be other people that just don't. Not only don't agree, but maybe think the opposite. And that's what causes like all these different arguments, tension between humans everywhere. And it's all chaos.
I know. It's just kind of like, it's almost like miscongeniality. It's like, what is your one wish for the world? World peace. I just want world peace. But that's very far. When you look at movies, it's not all like rainbows and butterflies, and you learn the harsh realities of how life really is. And when you're a kid, I think it's okay to live in that innocence for a little bit, especially when you're like 3 and you're watching a movie about like just. I watched Pocahontas for the first time with Aldo like last week, and I don't, I as a little girl I could see like, oh my God, this is so cute. But now older, I'm like, well, this would have never happened this way, and this is so messed up, and like
you see shit in a different lens.
It's a different lens, and so then the blinds have came off. But when you're a little kid, I see how it's like they made the story digestible for kids. Then it's the responsibility of the parent to have those conversations with the kids and educate the kids in a way that they can understand. And
it's not like just being alive is fucking crazy.
Being alive is hard. There's no manual on how to be a human. I didn't ask for this. I just was born into it.
I mean, if we take anything out of it, is learn respect everybody.
Yeah, just learn to be a respectful person. That's all.
What is or are your passions?
I guess I'm very passionate about understanding the human mind and understanding people's psychology and why they do things, and understanding how childhood traumas can really develop in people's adult life, and really diving into people's attachment styles and just navigating psychology as an adult and bettering yourself and what's that word? Decompacting? What's that word?
That sounds fine.
No, it's unpacking. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's just basically unpacking just roadblocks that can hinder someone from being their best possible self. Mm-hmm. So I'm just really passionate about, whether it's for myself or for somebody else, just understanding people and having a better understanding of humanity.
Yeah, I love that. I've heard my other friends say similar things about their own passions, where they have this desire to really just help people. And if not just help people, it's like really to better people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Do you know where this passion to help the human mind or the people around you help themselves, essentially? Mm-hmm. Do you know where this passion comes from? Like where?
I think the passion comes from, because this goes back to like earlier when I was talking about how I've always wanted to be an actor. And I went to college for acting. I went to a performing arts high school for theater. And a lot of what theater is really living truthfully under an imaginary circumstance. And by that, it's like really understanding the character that you're playing. Why do they talk this way? Why do they walk this way? Why is their relationship with their mom that way? Why do they talk to their girlfriend that way? Do they have a relationship with their mom that, they were consistently arguing? They have an absent father. So how does that look like in their day-to-day life? So you're really diving and becoming this person, and your body becomes like a shell, and you let another person live in through you. And so I feel like the best actors are ones that really understand and have a deep love and appreciation for psychology.
Okay.
Yeah. And so for me, I think not only is it just like, well, I want to understand you and everything and like decompact this. I think it's just when you really understand the character and you're becoming a character, you grow to have an appreciation and like a love and just almost like a care for that person that you're playing. And it just, when you understand someone's psychology, I think it also allows you to be compassionate in a sense. And there's some terrible characters and there's some awful people, but when you kind of put it in the lens where this person was a baby once and maybe they had the worst upbringing and they had a mother that was terrible to them, you can't help but to feel that sense of like, oh, like you're so awful now, but I get it. Like I get it. I understand. You're a piece of, because you had no, like, you have terrible parents. You grew up not having anything. You grew up having to fight for your life. It's just like you learn to be very compassionate. So
good word to use, compassionate. It's like a sense of understanding.
yeah.
You know? Even if it's like it's hard to maybe sympathize with them or like to definitely agree with you don't agree with their actions or with who they've become, but with like diving into the character, the person, or like what's behind the brain of it all, you know, like how they, with learning who they are and understanding how they came to be and all that, you understand compassion. You understand like being like, well, I know how this happened.
Yeah.
I know how this could happen.
And it also doesn't take away from, some people are just bad people. Some people are just terrible people. And there's no reason, explanation, or whatever. They're just, their actions, they're doing, their way of life is just unacceptable. And that's also okay. That's also the reality.
Yeah.
And I think the psychologist in me wanting to understand like everybody's thing is like, I want to find an answer to everything and just really understand why you are the way that you are.
Yeah.
But sometimes all roads just kind of lead to, you're just awful. And there's no, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. Some people are just terrible people. Some people are great people. Some people are damaged people. Some
when
people
you say that's okay, you mean like for you, right? Like as in you don't need to.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to. Yeah, it's okay. Not for them, but it's.
Right.
I mean, like for me, it's like I don't need to drive myself crazy trying to understand the whys. Sometimes I don't need to know what it is. I just need to know that it is, and sometimes it is what it is,
exactly.
And that's the world that we live in, and.
As tragic as it can feel, or as upsetting as it can feel, that is the world we live in. That's just a part of it, you know.
So I guess like my passion is also just really helping. Like I always feel a sense of, I always love it when I can help someone see like their light and their love themselves more, just like, because I feel like I want everybody to just love themselves and be their best possible selves and to do the things that they're scared of doing and to live their best lives. And for me, I just find a lot of fulfillment whenever I can pour into my friends or pour into my family or pour into the people that I love and help them see that. Because I see that in my friends and my family, and I want them to see that too. So I guess I have a real passion for just helping people see their light, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that almost all of the folks that I interview have that, I would say, similarity, because you all say it differently in your own way, but it's like this, you want to see that light in somebody else. You want to see them like grow and become who they want to become, and who the potential that they have, you want to see it like pulled out and like realized.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
it's beautiful.
Life is, there's enough room for everybody. We were talking about this earlier. There's enough room for everybody to be successful and to be great, and nobody should be gatekeeping. Your friends and the people that love you should not be holding you back from being your best possible self. If anything, they should be uplifting you and bringing you up with them. So
yes, I love that.
Yeah. But I guess that's me. That's my passions.
Cute. Okay, Will, with that, I have one last thing to ask you.
Yeah.
If this were your podcast, how would you end it?
Ooh, okay. If this was my podcast, I would end it with like a really cute send off. So I would be like, so out of all of the conversation that we had, what was one thing that stood out to you the most?
Ooh, there's so much.
Or actually, even better, if you were to give 3 words of this whole conversation that we just had, What 3 words would you use?
Okay. Respect, communication. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Instead of a word, can I say a phrase?
Sure.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh my God. Wait, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, yeah, we'll end it with 3 strong words. And then
What are the 3 strong words you would use?
I would use passionate. I would use understanding.
Oh, good.
And I would also use helicopters. The mind is just really fascinating.